Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will going to continue our series on Tinker projects on Python. In this video I have included the project title as Playground Management System, which is the for the school management system. So for that we have included the reports and PDF export inside it, and for that we have using the Tinker SQLite for the database and then Matplotlib library as for the graphs and reports parts. Okay, so for that I have take you can see right here I have imported the libraries as import SQLite 3 database 1 Tinker all asterisk importing and then import Tinker TTK model for tree views and then message box MB and then simple dialog as SD and then pyplot matplot pyplot which is the basically the for the graphs generation, and then I have created the taken the backend PDF as the PDF pages for generating the PDFs for the and then the date time of that particular data recording. Okay, for the next part, which is how I have set up the database, I have used the connector is equal to SQLite.connect by the name of the database as background db, and then I have added a cursor variable. Cursor is equal to cursor connector.cursor, and then I have used the connector dot execute by writing an SQL command for creating the table. Create table if not exist playground, and then I have defined its equipment name in the text, equipment ID in the text, primary key not null, which is the mandatory for the users, and then the category of that particular item that we will going to store, and then its status, it is available or in use, or then we have included the student ID for recognizing the which student has taken that particular result from the playground. Okay, then for the next part, which is the functions. For the functions I have written the first function as the issue student. It will going to prompt student ID when issuing equipments. For that we have added an asked simple dialog method which will going to ask the by then ask string, and will going to say the student ID on the above, and then at the bottom it will going to ask enter student ID using this equipment, and if he or she doesn't enter, then it will going to show an error through the message box of the Python as error student ID cannot be empty, and then it will going to execute the return the value of SID. Okay, and for the displaying record I have written as the tree dot lead asterisk tree get childs. For that it will going to take all of the remaining part of the childs that had been there, and we have created a connector right here again, connector dot execute by writing an SQL query select asterisk from playground, and then I have by a for loop I have written is I have ejected them in the particular tree format that we will going to execute it. Okay, that you can see its code right here. And for the clearing fields I have like he or she if has changes the data of whether it has been available or not, then he or she can just send it for that. And for removing another parts like for where I have used in the for where in these kind of entries as equipment ID, equipment name, category and its student's ID, it will going to set to null. Okay, and then it will going to enter the configure state as normal, and then it will going to selection remove from that particular tree, and then or it will going to pass it out. Okay, and for the clear and display function I have used in a recursion way. As first it will going to recall the clear fields, then it will going to display it out, which will going to use in the further records that you can will going to see out. And the next function is for the adding records. If equipment status dot get is equal to in use, then it will going to ask for the issue student ID that you can see right here. It has going to run at that particular student, and else it will going to say the not applicable message right there. Set the value as that. And for that ask and no, we have used an authority variable, as it will going to given in a message box ask yes no confirm, do you want to add this equipment record. If user agrees, then it will going to execute it out, like you can see right here. It will going to use the connector dot execute, and then it will going to write in a particular insert into playground table and its values as this you can see right here that we have defined before. And it will going to take fetch all of its basically values that we have defined in the our code as equipment name variable, then ID, category, status, and student ID, and then it will going to commit it that, and then it will going we will going to again run the clear and display function, and it will going to by using message box library dot so info we will going to print an a so and a success message, success record added successfully. Okay, else it will going to show an a duplicate. If someone recorded it by the similar ID, then it will going to show an a duplicate one. Okay, and then for the next part, which is the dev view record, for that it will going to show now record like that mb dot show error selector record from the table, and it will going to take that particular record and focus it from the tree part and its values that you can see 1 2 3 format that, and it will going to set that. Okay. Then we go to our next part, which is the update records. Inside we have defined an update function which will going to take an if equipment status get in use, then it will going to ask for the again student ID, or else it will going to set it to the not applicable one. Okay, and then we have written in a cursor execute by writing in inside in a SQL query as update playground set as equipment name, category, equipment status, and student ID, where the particular equipment ID has been selected, and it will going to append that particular results and commit that particular. Then we will going to by using a connector, it will we will going to commit it and then run the clear and display function, and then it will going to destroy the edit button that we have added right there recently. at that particular time, and it will go into equation equipment ID entry set to normal, which was set at the updation time as disabled. Okay, and clear.configure as state is equal to normal, and then we will going to execute an view record, and then you can see right here I have disabled the clear button and equation entry button. Okay, clearing button, and then and edit. For the edit button I have defined it like that, you can see right here as this. In the left frame, text as update record, font as the button font, and then its width as 20 and command I have given the update that you can above see it, and we have placed it at the x coordinate of 50 and then y as the 375, and then I have defined the next function as the remove record. For that similar way I have defined the if user doesn't select it, then it will go into so and you have to select a record to delete it, and then it will go into particularly again focus on that particular record, and then it will going to execute. Use then a cursor dot execute, then we will write an it has been written there the delete from playground where equation equipment ID of that, and it will going to select that particular record, and it will going to delete it that you can commit it, and then it will go into particular deleted from that format, and it will go into show a message that it has been done to the message box, and it will go into clear and display it. Similar way, for if user want to clear all of the inventory instantly, then it will go to ask in a yes and no message from the user. It will go into right above in a confirm, and then it will go into ask us delete all playground records, this cannot be undone, and if user agrees, then it will going to delete it out. That you can see right here its code as this. It has deleted from the UI, then from the database, and then commit it out. Okay, that particular result. And then for the changing the status, that will going to work on the if user again doesn't selected the record, then it will go into same solely the same message, and then it has been doing the similar way like it has done before id, and it if it is in the use, then return the equipment has it will going to ask the person he or she has returned it or not. If it return it, then it will going to take in a particular update that playground set equipment status student id where the particular equipment id, and it will going to set it to null. Okay, or else if the user had just taken the particular thing, then it will going to also take the student id that you can see right here. I have also include the issue student function right here, and it will going to at last will going to call the clear and display function. And for the last part, which is the generating the reports, it will going to first of all take the cursor dot execute, select category by count asterisk from playground group by categories, and it will going to take out all of its data by the fetch all method of cursor. Okay. Then we will going to execute that another command for the another graph, which is the by the group by equipment status. Okay, and if the category or status data is not available, then it will going to show a message no data, no records available for the record. Okay, and for the exporting the particular file, I have defined it like if PDF export is asked, then we have defined a variable in which we have defined its file name as this way. You can see right here I have defined the date name, date time according to that, and then the PDFs. And you can see right here I have also created an before folder right here. And right now let's just see how we have written the bar chart and pie chart program, okay, which will going to help you later in the data science or any like that fields which require to create enough graphs through the codes, okay. So for that we have taken the categories comma cons and then z asterisk by the category data, and then we have defined it's the plot figure size as 6,4, which is actually a bigger size would say, and then the plot bar we have defined the x and y coordinates as you can see categories count and given it in a color as sky blue, and then we have defined its title as you can see right here, okay, and then we have defined its x and y labels, okay. And if the user asks for the export particularly, then it will going to particularly create an all of that part and it will going to execute it, else it will going to just show it and it will going to close it out at the end, okay. And for the pie chart I have used the similar method for the statistics status and count status data, and then 5 by 5, then pie as for the it has been done in the pie chart format, then it will going to take a now counts label cells status, and then we have defined it like that ox p as 1.1 f and then start angle as 140, and I have given it in a color as green red, okay, right now. And then I have given it a title, and then you can see I have also given it like the before page. So for that's it for the functions part and how we have done the generation of the basic function and heart of the particular GUI, okay. So now we go to our next part, which is how we have created the particular GUI for our users, okay. For the particular way I have taken the colors as this, you can see right here like orange, blue, light blue, yellow and light green, and then for the font as this you can see right here, okay, entry font, label font, button font, okay, that you can check it out. And for the root part I have defined it like this. We can start the root is equal to tk module defining, and then root title school background playground management system, define its root geometry as like that, and then we have given it in a title as root text and given it in a title as this, you can see right here. And then for font you can see the font name, and then I have defined it as 16 and comma in the bold, and then I have given it in a bg color that you can see right here, and font color as black, and I have packed on the top by filling the y-axis of it. And now let's see how I have defined the all of the variables that I have using the stigware right here only, as it will be more efficient and more easier for the further person use. If in the future that you want to or your teacher wants to create make you say like id should be in the integer or category and or anything, then you can change it out, okay, for your purpose. So we have defined the equation status, sorry, equipment status, equipment name, equipment ID and category of them, and student ID. And for the frames, I had defined them like that, that you can see right here. As a left frame, I had used the frame in the root background of that as the light blue, and then place it at the x comma y coordinate, and real width as 0.3 and real height as 0.9. And then for the right top frame, I have again frame it in the root format and given it in a bg color, and for the real x is equal to 3.3, y as 30, and then real height as 0.2 and real width as 0.7 of it. As it can be in future, it will going to has a lot of buttons, so it needs to be adjusted like that, okay. And for the next part, which is the bottom frame, which will going to show all of the particular data that in the tabular format. So for that similar way, I have defined it like that. It will be having no bg colors and place it at the this code, this format, okay. And for the output inputs and format, for the left hand side, I have defined it like this. I have used in a label first as in the left frame, comma text as equipment name, bg color of them that I have particularly before defined that, and then I have placed it at the x and y coordinate as x equal to 70 and y as 25, and then I have defined it similar way. The entry for the text, I have for the text variables parts, I have using the equation name of particular that area and using the positioning as x as 40 and y as 55, okay. And similar way, I have defined the equipment IDs that you can see the distance of the positioning, how I have done it, like x and y has been changing to the patterns particular way, then the x and y, then similar way right here you can see out. And for the status path, which is the how I have defined it, you can see I have used in the label left frame, we have written an access status, and bj of them I have defined again and position them at the x equal to 11 comma 110 comma y equal to 265, and then I have using a function as the open option left frame equals status, and given it a available in use dev configure font entry font width as 12, and then I have again defined it right here that you can see its coordinates. And for the adding record, I have defined its button as left frame, then text as add record, font as button font, and then bg as this, and then width as 20, and then command as add record and place it at the x 50 and y as 375, and then the similar way I had defined the clear fields button by and given in a command as from the function as clear fields, okay. And I have positioned at the x 50 and y as 435. And similar way I have go to our next part, which is the main action part of the CRUD functions like edit, update, delete, and part and generation of the report and exporting them in the PDF formats. I have defined it in the right top frames that you can see. I have used their font of the buttons as like you can see. I have defined their width as the 70, 22, 18, 18. Okay, and their commands as that you can see their functions right here. Okay. And you can see out their positioning as this: x equal to 8 and y as 30, and then x equal to 178 and then y as 30, and then particular gap again in the pattern format, and again similar way, and then for the last part I have defined them like that way. Okay, and at last, which is the right bottom frame and table of the particular how it will going to show the particular data. Okay, so for that I have defined the first of all given it a title as in the right bottom frame as text, with the text as playground inventory, and given it an bg, and then I have using the font that you can see right here 15 bold, and then packet like the title I have before done, and then I have go to what use the tree is equal to ttk library function, and by the tree view I have used in the tree bottom select mode as browse, and then I select all of them. I have written the columns as equipment name, equipment id, category, status, and student name. If you want to add anything more, then you can add it in the future. If you want it out, or you just say out something way more needed, then you can do it on your own. Okay, and then we have defined the x and y scroll bars for the users, one for x for the bottom side and y1 for the right hand side, and then I have defined its headings at the anchor them at the center, and given take their text equipment names, and then I have used in their own column defining as like that, and then I have placed it on the y is equal to 30 and x equal to 0, and real height as this 0.9 and real width as 1, and then again run the clear and display function as a starting of the UI, and then we will going to update the particular, and then it will going to run the full code again. Okay, so if you guys, so let's go to our demonstration part. So guys, we have reviewed all of the code how we have written it, so let's see how this code is actually running in our way. So for that I have going to create a new entry as I will going to write a fake entry as like that for example, and I will going to use it so in use, and as this is not using the I am using this will going to not use the so the simple dialog boxes, so it will going to I will going to give the you can check out for your own self, and I have added the id. It has been asking me the do you want to edit. I will going to say it yes. It has show the message, and right here you can see it out, and for that I will going to first of all update that particular record. You can see it has been not doing taking the equipment id, and I have been going to do it and then available it out, and then update that particular record, and then let's see out how it will going to change it the availability or anything. like it was right now available, then it has been asking me the student ID. I will going to write the 1 2 3 4. Okay, right here you can see out its result. Okay, and let me enter one more one so that we can check out the delete records and how it has been going to work in our real way. Okay, one record, and then this, and again adding it out. Okay, and let me check out the clear clear field that you can see right here. It has cleared it out, and right now let me select one record that it will going to again ask me in a message. Okay, it has deleted out. I forgotten out it that way. It has been asking me a message and it has been done it. Okay, so let me again regenerate my own data so that we can check out how this particularly data and report has been done it. Okay, so guys, you can check out I have created again my own data. So let me generate that particular report. Yes, I have. So guys, you can see out I had been seeing the data as this way that I have created it before, and let me cut it out. Okay, and it has shown the other data as this way. Okay, so let me show you how it will going to generate the PDF. Okay, it has created a PDF, and let me open that particular PDF of it. So guys, you can see out how it has been created out of or PDF that I have created out, that it has been showing the graphs as this, and the category wise equipment count, and then the equipment status distribution that you can see in use and available, as it has been written there the three entries. Okay, so that's it for today guys. If you guys enjoy and making these kind of particular records and particular projects, then you can check out my other videos like Python projects and other things. If you like it, subscribe to my channel, and see ya.